Master of the Housebook and Master of the Amsterdam Cabinet are two names used for an engraver and painter working in South Germany in the last quarter of the 15th century. He is apparently the first artist to use drypoint, a form of engraving, for all of his prints. The first name derives from his book of drawings with watercolour, called the Housebook, which belonged to the German noble family of Waldburg-Wolfegg from the 17th century until 2008, when they were reported to have sold it for €20 million to a Swiss buyer. However, the legality of its sale for export has been challenged, and for the moment it remains with the family. In 1999, the book was loaned to the National Gallery of Art in Washington, D.C. for an exhibition. The majority of his surviving prints are in the print room at the Rijksmuseum in Amsterdam, hence his second name. Most, but not all, art historians still agree that the Housebook and the prints are by the same artist. His 91 prints are extremely rare, with 60 surviving in one impression only, and none in more than 5. There are a total of 124 impressions, 80 in Amsterdam. It is thought that because his prints were made using only the shallow, scratched line of drypoint, probably on tin or a pewter-type alloy, only 10 to 20 impressions of each could be taken before the plate wore out. Many engravings by other artists are believed to be copies of missing works by this master. In particular, Israel van Meckenem seems to have copied more than 30. His work is very well drawn and lively, with the interest in detail typical of early Netherlandish painting. Arthur Megahind notes of his style that he is an artist with a freedom of draftsmanship quite remarkable at this epoch. If his manner of engraving has something of the irregularity of an amateur, his power of expression is vigorous and masterly. A high proportion depicts secular subjects, more than is typical with artists of the period. Along with his contemporary Martin Schongauer, the Housebook Master was the leading artist making old master prints in Germany in his period. Both Schongauer and the Housebook Master had a considerable influence on the prints of Albrecht Dürer. The Master suggests Netherlandish influence in the modelling of light and shade and in some of his figural types. A small number of paintings are also thought to be his work, notably the pair of lovers in Gotha, the spire altarpiece. However, many scholars feel the Gotha lovers and the spire altarpiece cannot be by the same artist, and favor attributing only the lovers to the Housebook Master. Others disagree, and attribute the engravings and the altarpiece to the same master, Erhard Reusch. It was first suggested in 1937 that he should be identified as Erhard Reusch of Utrecht, an artist and printer working in Mainz, who designed and signed an influential 5-foot-long woodcut panoramic view of Venice made following a visit in 1483 or 1484 during a pilgrimage to the Holy Land. Reusch printed the account in Latin of the trip, the Sancti Peregrinations by Bernhard von Bredenbach of 1486, in which the woodcut was the first ever fold-out plate. The design was later adapted by Michael Wohlgemuth for the Nuremberg Chronicle. Reusch was taken as an artist in the entourage of Bredenbach, a wealthy canon of Mainz Cathedral. The book also contained panoramas of 6 other cities, including Jerusalem, studies of Near Eastern costume, and an exotic alphabet, the first in print. It was a bestseller, reprinted 13 times over the next 3 decades, including editions printed in France and Spain, for which the illustration blocks were shipped out to the local printers. In 1485 Reusch drew some plants for the woodcuts in a herbal also published in Mainz. His identification with the Housebook Master has not been generally accepted, though a hired mayor supported it. Other suggestions have also been made. The trend of scholarly opinion has moved against the identification identification in more recent works. The design of the woodcuts for a 1473 edition of the Speculum Humani Salvationis has been attributed to the Housebook Master.